Well, Coach, obviously talk about the importance of this game as you seek the American Athletic Conference Championship game. Obviously, you've got a lot of big games coming up, and this is the first of them. And you know from past experience that Houston's always one of the toughest opponents you face on an annual basis.
Well, you're exactly right, Wags. I mean, it's important for a lot of reasons. First and foremost, it's the coach's cliche that everybody hates to hear. It's the next one, and we're trying to go 1-0. That's all you can do, control the next game. But, our kids have put ourselves in a position that every game matters now in our conference. And so we're excited for this challenge, but we're focused solely on Houston. And as you said, this is a really good football team. I mean, they had the chances to beat BYU, up late in the game. And we know how good BYU is. We saw them up close and personal. But we've also seen Houston up close and personal. And so we know how good they are, athletic, got really good coaches. Dana's a really good football coach. And so, we had our hands full with them last year. And we were fortunate to come away with the win up down there in Houston. And I know they're, itching to get back on the winning track, especially when they had that game. They had that game in hand, and late, and to lose to a good football team, I'm sure they're disappointed. But it's an important game for us. It's the next one against a really, really good opponent. And as you said, it has a lot of ramifications in our conference.
Would it be fair to say that this is the most sophisticated passing attack with the most talented weapons that you've faced this season? I know BYU had a nice passing attack, but they actually ended up running the ball very effectively on you. And it seems as though a lot of the opponents to date have been more run-based. But do you think this is going to be a challenge for your pass defense?
Most of them, they're going to stretch you everywhere. They ran the ball against BYU early on too. When their running back rushed for 100 yards, I mean, he's a good back, and their other guy didn't play. They have different types of backs. Toon is a really good quarterback. Second year in Dana's system. He's super accurate. Again, I can't remember what the completion percentage was, but he was last week in that game. I mean, he was unbelievable early on, and for the majority part of the game, super accurate. Completed a ton of balls. BYU played a ton of zone, and you have to be accurate throwing against zones, and players need to know where they're, the good hook up at and those types of things. But Dana's been doing this a long time. They know what they're doing throwing the football. They know what to do when you try to bring pressure and try to play man and do all sorts of things. They know what to do when you're trying to play. Sorry, I got cut off. They know what you're doing. You're playing zone. So you just got to do the best that you can. But this is you're right, like, it's really good weapons. Stevenson probably will be the most athletic wideout, we see. One of them, the top at least. He's I don't know where NFL scouts got him ranked, but, of all the guys I've seen over the years, this guy is as good as anybody. A lot of guys we've played against have gone on to the league, but super talented and really good offense.
I'll pass it off to someone else. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Wags.
Sheehan. Sheehan, do you have anything? Oh, there you are.
There. Hi, I'm off mute. Sorry, driving to a safe place. Coach, I just was interested from your take just how the morale has been with the team. There's a couple great wins. The Navy fans being able to be back with the students. Just how's everything been going?
Well, our guys are encouraged. Anytime you win, they're super excited. It's kind of crazy. I mean, I've never experienced a year like this. So obviously, our 2 losses have been 2 crushing losses. And our wins have been close, hard-fought wins in conference. And our guys have found a way to battle through and win it. So I think it really shows the character of this team, the type of leaders that we have in our locker room. A team without this type of senior leadership, Sheehan, this type of captain leadership, I think would have folded. I think would have folded in these kind of games. You know, could very easily be 0-5. I mean, this game, the games were we want, but we found a way to win them. And I think I'm so proud of this football team because they battled back after crushing losses in hard-fought wins, and it could have been easy to lay down and give up. But they found a way to win three close, tough games. And so the morale is strong, and the reason it's strong, Sheen, is because we got great captains. You know, Cameron Kinley, you know, is great leadership from him. We have a lot of great leadership from Billy Honecker, Jackson Perkins, Miles Fells. You know, those guys have all been awesome leaders on our team. Diego Fogo, Dalen and Tiger, some of the way they've approached their Nelson Smith. Here's a guy that was kind of, you know, I don't know if relegated, but he was second string after a great year by Jamel Carruthers. And it could have been easy for him in the offseason, like, you know, I'm a senior and I'm the backup, but he's had a great attitude. Comes to practice and works hard every day. And really, I think that kid's probably been the spark plug of our football team. Nelson Smith's running, I feel like, has been somebody who's kind of catapulted us on offense to kind of get things going, kind of allowed our O-line to play harder, you know, seeing how hard Nelson runs. The selflessness of the wideouts, you know, really talented wideout group. And, you know, we throw 2 passes against Temple in their screens. I mean, those guys continue to block. You know, they don't sulk or complain. Same thing with the A-backs. You know, with just some of the stuff on the perimeter, more so an inside game, and those guys continue to come and work. We've had some young guys on defense step up in their roles. And I know it's a long answer, but I think you're hitting something that's probably the biggest key to our team right now. It's just the morale, the leadership. You know, we play Temple with, you know, 2 starting inside linebackers that really didn't play any football. We got in some interior guys that haven't played too much. Mikey McMorris, the kid's been amazing. I mean, if you look at that young man, you know, walking around and, you know, at school, you would not realize that he's probably one of the best football players that I've ever been around. I mean, the kid is amazing. He's physical, he's tough, throws his body around, things that we ask him to do, covers people. You know, he walks around, he's a handsome young man, always got a smile on his face, but do not be confused, that kid's a dog, man. I mean, he is a tough sucker. I mean, he's the kind of the tough football player that you're looking for, but, you know, his exterior appearance could mislead you to think that he's this really nice kid, but he's one of the meanest dudes on the football field. He'll hit you and he'll throw it around, but still with a smile. So right now, Sheen, I'm really encouraged by our morale, and that's really what's kept us afloat in a season where you get blown out to start the season, you get blown out by your rival. It's been very, very easy to fold the tent, and to a credit to our senior leadership and our captains and leaders in our team, our kids keep fighting.
Do you feel as though the last 2 games have shown that this team is kind of developing the consistency that you want? I mean, that's kind of what you want, is the even keel. I mean, I think you're got to have a little more confidence in where this is headed based off these last 2 games, as you mentioned.
The biggest thing we've tried to establish is our physicality, just kind of who we are. You know what I mean? That wasn't us. You know what I mean? We didn't have it against BYU. Obviously, we didn't have it against Air Force. You know, we had it in the second half of Tulane. But that was the consistency that you're talking about, being more physical up front on both sides of the ball, becoming better tacklers, becoming more physical runners, just all those things, a little bit of Navy football, just our fight. I think the thing that we've been trying to battle this whole time is just to be a team that battles and fights, and credit to our guys. It's becoming more We're getting closer. We're getting closer to that, but it's I'm encouraged by the last couple of games for all of that.
First off, Houston this weekend, tough competition. What you guys seeing ahead of this game?
Yes, very, very physical O-line. Probably one of the better O-line groups that we're going to face this season. And so, in terms of D-line play, we got to get vertical off the ball and be physical and master physicality in order to stop the run and get after the quarterback.
What was it like for you to get that start last weekend?
It was a great feeling. I'm a guy who's never been able to start previously, and then I just kept my head down and kept working, and having the opportunity and knowing that the coaches had the confidence in me to allow me to start meant a great deal to me.
Who was the first person you called to let you know you were starting ahead of the game?
I actually didn't tell anyone. I was just really focused on, getting my job done, making sure I knew my plays and performing. And so I told my parents after the game. I asked them if they saw that I started and talked to them about it after, but I didn't tell anyone ahead of that.
And then last question for me, that block in the game, what was that like for you just to get a hand on that ball on that kick?
It was a great feeling. So I'm a guy who's on PAT, and PAT practice happens during a field goal block every day. So I'm never there for field goal block. And so I didn't really know the details and the technique, but the Tuesday before the ECU game, Coach Downey and Coach Hall brought us together and kind of told us the techniques and said that we'd be able to get one if we executed what they're asking us to do. And so I got in there, remembered those keys, and was able to get a hand on the ball.
We talked to Coach Newberry the other day, and he was talking about the switch to Zoom meetings. And not only has it helped kind of just with understanding things for a lot of the guys, but it also has helped with the unity. Winning helps, I know, but how have you assessed just kind of the guys getting together just in terms of like the morale and just, more team bonding over the last few weeks since the in-person and some of the practices?
Oh, it's definitely improved. It's improved 100%. Just being able to be with the guys. The season's very different. We didn't have a spring ball. We didn't have an off season really, and a lot of the freshmen came late. So being able to be in the same team room with them and build that camaraderie and kind of that mentorship is huge for our program.
Awesome. We'll ask Coach Newberry later, but he always seems to bring in some different kind of honors and awards. Anything new this season that's been created by him?
No, we still have the same players of the game, special teams, defensive player of the game. So there's no new awards.
What do you tell the younger guys who are maybe, you come in, everyone thinks they're going to come in and play right away. You've been a guy who has worked your way up the depth chart. What do you tell the younger guys as far as hanging in there and keeping your nose to the grindstone?
I just tell them, it's part of the process. You have to embrace the suck, and the grind is what makes you stronger. So you have to learn how to be a follower before you can lead. And so being a scout guy is just part of that process, and it builds discipline, toughness, commitment, and those are all things that will help you when it's your time to step on the field.
What made you choose the Naval Academy? Who recruited you, and what was the process like, and why did you ultimately choose Navy?
Coach Niuma and Coach Nua, who's no longer here, recruited me. And really the biggest thing for me was that I just wanted a different college experience. I wanted to go to a prestigious school, but a school that also had great Division I sports, and Navy provided that for me. And I've always had this sense of wanting to give back to my community and serve my country because my parents are both immigrants, and this country's given a lot to both of them. And so being able to do that was huge, and Navy provided the best opportunity.
Who else recruited you?
At the end, the schools I was looking at, most of them were for offensive line. It was Cal, BYU, Washington State, Oregon State, Pac-12 schools mostly.
And then service assignments are coming up here in the next month or so. What are you looking at? What's your hopes to get?
I'm 100% committed to Marine Corps ground. That's where I think I belong. That's where I think, a lot of my characteristics line up with and values line up with. So I'm hoping Marine Corps ground.
I asked Dalen this a few months ago a lot of times nowadays people are transferring if they don't get a starting spot right away. Obviously the Naval Academy is a little different, but what's your message to high school students and future recruits about waiting your turn and grinding it out in practice to get to where you are?
I would say that, just sticking with the process builds character. Life is much bigger than the game of football. And the lessons you learn from football, whether you're playing or not, stay the same. And the adversity you face helps really develop that character and will help you in the long run if you stick out and battle through it.
Thank you.
Sheehan, do you have any follow-ups?
Yes, I did. Back to you starting. As I was writing the notes, I'm like, that's really interesting. So you did not tell your parents at all that you were starting?
No, man.
No. Okay. So then when you called them after the game, were they watching the game? Did they actually see?
Yeah. So after the game, my phone was, kind of blew up a little bit, and my parents were one of the first people to text me and congratulate me and just say that they were proud and that they were watching the game. So it was a great feeling and very rewarding.
Did they give you a hard time for not telling them?
No. I mean, I kind of assumed that they would be
No.
watching the game. They usually watch it, so I knew they would see it. But
Uh-huh.
just I wanted to focus in on my job and not let other things distract me.
There. Awesome. And then where do they, we might do a little segment on just kind of where
We lost you, Sheehan.
parents are watching. It's from home. Do they have like a routine that any
Toby.
better now?
Toby, she cut out, but I think what she's asking is, where do your parents normally watch the game? And do they have some type of routine? Do they watch it at home or they go someplace?
I don't think they have any special routine. They're usually watching from home in our living room. Hopefully, I'm gonna try and get them out here to watch a couple of my games. I think some of these games coming up, parents are able to attend, so hopefully they'll be able to watch them play.
Awesome. I don't know if you can hear me now, but I heard that. That's great.
Toby, where are your parents originally from?
Both my parents are from Nigeria. My mom was born in England, but her family is from Nigeria, and they came here to Maryland first and then moved to Oregon.
And how long have they been football fans? Obviously, the sport of choice in Nigeria is normally soccer.
Yeah.
Did they become football fans because you started playing football?
Actually, my dad, at a younger age, my dad got into football, so he watched it a lot, and I was never really a football guy up until middle school. I always liked basketball and golf. Those were my two sports of choice, and so my dad kept telling me, your body's perfect for football. You need to start watching it with me, and so he was really the one that got me into watching and playing football.
Anyone you emulated growing up? Who was your favorite player as a kid that you kind of latched onto?
I always wanted to be a running back, and so there's Chris Okoye, Nigerian Nightmare.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I really wanted to be a running back. That was in the cards for me. It never happened, but I loved how he played.
One of the great nicknames in all of sports.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anyone have anything else?
Yeah, Toby, any reason for your number choice, or was it just assigned to you?
Yeah, it was just a sign,
Okay.
If you could pick any number to wear, what would you wear?
I would probably be wearing a number in the single digits. As a bigger guy, I always think that's cool. Kind of makes you look a little slimmer when you have a number in the single digits. So.
And do you follow soccer at all? Are you a soccer guy? And so, what's your team?
I mean, I play FIFA on
Uh-huh.
Xbox a lot, and so that's really how I follow soccer a little bit. But other than that, I don't really watch soccer or have a main team.
Who's the best FIFA player on the team?
I would say either Michael Cabrera or myself. I think I'm up there.
Is that your favorite game to play, or is Madden one of the popular choices?
I play anything. I can beat people in Madden, 2K, FIFA. It doesn't matter to me. I'm with whatever.
Are you pretty much claiming you're the king of video games for the?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm willing to face anyone and take on any challenge.